Hey everybody, welcome back to Life in the North 40. I'm Rick.
And I'm Brittany, and I hope you enjoyed my bug out bag for Pros, Joes, and Janes. It was a 72-hour comprehensive bug out bag and had rations for 2 people, so it was a bit larger, and it also had some larger items that were easier to use for a novice like me. So today, Rick's gonna show you his Elite Gray Man 72-hour bug out bag. It's quite a bit different than mine, so I hope you enjoy this video.
The big difference here, as you can see, is this is a non-tactical looking bag. You could wear this on a campus somewhere and no one would know that you have preparedness, tactical, survival items in this bag. You just look like it's a book bag. Yeah, it's pretty full, but it looks totally non-tactical. We're using the 511 Covert 18 bag. Let me go ahead and throw a quick demo of why this is a tactical bag when it doesn't look like it. So you have a zipper here and here, kind of center mass on the back. You could swing this bag around to your front of your body and reach right in here, boom, and draw your weapon. Okay, Glock 43X. This side, you can come from it from either side. I'm a right-handed firer, so I have my gun on that side, and I'll show you more about this in a minute. Here is an extra magazine. So on the left-hand side, there is a Velcro or hook pile tape patch in here, and you can put, I've got MagPro, a Max Edition, attachable holster. It's just rudimentary. Your gun slides in here and your magazine here. That is a cool feature where you can literally grab in here, boom, and access your essentials when they're needed from the right or the left. So I wanted to highlight that first because it's a great feature. It does not look tactical at all. Obviously, I have a bottle of water here. Are there bigger bottles of water? Are there other ways to store water? Yes, this is a water bottle pouch. So I just have a plastic water bottle in here for use when needed. Can I replace it? Sure. All right, and even reuse that plastic bottle. I probably don't need to though, and that's a form of container as well. Here I have my nested cooking system from Pathfinder. This is a 25-ounce cooking pot or cup with handles. It's also got 2 drilled holes here so you can put a pot hanger in here. We showed that in one of our previous videos with some graduated measurement here. This is stainless steel. You can literally cook in that over the fire if needed. And then we have a 32-ounce sealable stainless steel cooking bottle. You can literally put that in the coals and cook in it as well. This does have a poly lid which can melt, so you'd want to keep that out. The good thing too is if you are using purification tablets, 1 tab works for 32 ounces. You just drop it, scoop water, drop it in here, let it continue to kill bacteria on the move, and you could pull this out and drink out of it. While I have this out, I do want to show, because for space, I put my water filtration system in here, which is the Sawyer Mini. I put these components in this plastic bag because they're easy to pull out of the bottle rather than fishing for the individual items inside. And I have 10 Katadyn water purification tabs. Again, 1 tab purifies 32 ounces of water. Plug and play with this system. Not only does it nest, but I can cook in it. I can also purify my water on the move. Worn closest to my body on the straps, I want to have a couple things that are easy access. One is a mini 200 lumen bite light. All right, uses a watch battery. And then I have the Coughlin's combo keychain device here. It's got a thermometer on one side, button compass here for cardinal directions, a whistle, and then it's got a folding magnifying glass in here as well. You can literally peel that out and you can use that to help to read and or start a fire, start char cloth with the solar rays of the sun. So both of those are on the outside. Then you have a back support area for the bag. It's got some hard carbon plastic in here. Inside here I have 2 contractor trash bags, 3 mil, and they are 42 gallon. Multi-use container, form of a container, ground cloth. I can make a shelter out of these. I could drag stuff on them. I can even light these on fire for tinder. And also conveniently placed in the back here, I have a SAM splint. It fits great back here, adds some additional support in the center of my back, and we all know that this is a moldable splint for limb fractures. This is a great item to have, and it fits perfectly in my bag. And then right here on the outside, I have a mountaineering lockable carabiner or snap link. Obviously for using for ropes, I could do a rope bridge, a water crossing, and secure equipment. I could snap it here and hang my bag on a tree, whatever. Multi-purpose item, and definitely good to have on the outside of your bag. Okay, let's get into the top pouch here. Actually, this is the very top pouch here. I'm gonna pull out the items. So you'll see that zipper is right up to the handle. One of the cool things about this pouch, this is like fleece light. So it's really a sunglass pouch, or for electronics like your cell phone. So this thing is soft, it doesn't hurt your stuff. It actually buffers and protects your stuff. The reason I put these in that one, the top is real easy to get to, easily accessible. I have hands-free lighting, part of the candling category for Illumination. This is a Petzl headlamp. You see the red lens first. In the military, when you're doing patrolling, you want to have noise, light, and litter discipline. You want to filter your light. Red lens allows me to read, but it's dampened for long range viewing in the woods or whatever. And it's got multiple settings. So that's the red lens. We got a flashing setting. 3 positions, a low light, white light, mid-level, and bright. So 3 position. And then the red lens. Plus that does adjust. Also, I like to have a backup pair of sunglasses that stay in my bag. Yeah, I have typically sunglasses on my person all the time, but grab this bag, I got them. These are ballistic grade polarized lens Oakleys. And then I've got a Silva Ranger compass. This has an adjustable declination screw if you have a declination in the area of operations you're in, a mirror. You can do azimuth shooting with your wire sight. It's got various scales for USGS style maps or MGRS map scale for military style maps. Plus it has great illumination at night. This is also used back in my military days in patrolling. When this thing's illuminated, you can use it for signaling to let folks know you're on one side of the linear danger area and it's clear. Easy access, and I could throw this on my web gear or put it on my strap if I'm using it, but I keep it packed until then. I've got Ranger beads to keep a pace count. Then, if you're getting up there and you need reading glasses like I do now for close-in viewing, I have an extra pair of reading glasses in my bag ready to go in a case. So, these things are so great I can see into the future. Moving down to the front center, you'll see that there are zippers here, zipper here, and a zipper here. So let's start on the right flank. I've already unzipped it just for ease. I have moist baby wipes for hygiene, comfort item, use the latrine, whatever, great to have. These do dry out, rotate stock. These are getting a little dry, I'll replace those. Also for easy access, if I'm in an urban environment, this is a 4-way or 4-position silcock key. Have you ever been in a public park or bathroom and you see they'll have a water spigot and it has a little spot to be able to turn that on? You need this key to do it. This could be a lifesaver for you to procure potable water in an urban environment. Super lightweight and small, made out of aluminum. I have a compressed towel here. This, when expanded and moist, goes to 24 by 24. So that's that little pouch. So these are all items I may need to go now. I may need to go to the bathroom, water, some quick hygiene. On this easily accessible pouch, we're gonna get into a high-end tactical individual first aid kit in a minute, but this is what I like to call my boo-boo kit. Why is it on the outside? This is just for small boo-boos. I gotta keep moving. What does this have? I've got quite a bit in this little individual Ziploc bag. In itself is also a form of a container. Well, I got 2x2 gauze pads, some moleskin, 3 alcohol preps. I can use those for fire starters and cleaning wounds. I've got 3 Imodium, anti-diarrheal. I have 4 Benadryl, and so this is for allergic reactions. It's also some people use as a sleep aid, and they can help with bug bites and stuff to minimize the swelling. I've got 12 Tylenol. You see I write my expiration date on my individual Ziplocs to rotate stock. I have 6 Pepto tabs for stomach issues, diarrhea as well. I've got 2 knuckle bandages, 2 fingertip bandages. These are steri strips. I got 5 of those. Wound closure strips, and then right here I've got some adhesive pad with a little cushion to it. It's got that little plastic coating on the outside. So Band-Aids, I got 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large, normal Band-Aids. I have 12 naproxen for inflammation, back pain, stuff like that. This is an NSAID that's good to have. And these are tick clips, I call them, or tick tweezers. They got a small little point. I just taped them to keep them closed. Plus I got some additional black electrical tape or friction tape here I can use for tinder. So that is all in my little boo-boo kit. Other than the boo-boo kit and this little outside pouch here I have for easy accessibility or quick accessibility is a triangular cravat bandage, which is muslin cotton. This is military issue right here. This is 37 by 37 by 52. It does come with some black 2-inch safety pins as well to fashion a sling, a head wrap. You have an eye wound, you can wrap the head. These are great to have, and those are all shown on the outside of the package. I have 7 Jolly Ranchers, and just quick calories, a morale item. Pop one of these in your mouth while you're moving, keep you going. Just some sugar calories. This pouch here will zip open and it's quick and easy to get to. This is my comprehensive individual first aid kit or tactical blowout kit. Before I get into that, I'll show you this area here. This bag has got some great features like I stated earlier. This has also got another Velcro patch here so you can stick easy items that you want to grab and go and rip out. In the bag here I have 8 18-inch and 4 14-inch zip ties. And you see I just spun those around inside the bag here in different locations. Obviously for gear repairs, you can put those on a zipper or whatever. They're extremely handy. Then I have a Cat 2 tourniquet. You see I quick release that with rubber bands. If I need to stop bleeding, I can rip that out of my bag and get it on my limb. That's why I did it that way. If I have to treat a casualty, mainly myself, this is for me. This isn't for somebody else. This is individual. I want to be able to take that out and access the items in it. You could dummy cord that to your bag so you didn't lose it in limited visibility or under duress. So the outside zipper here, I'm gonna open that up. What do I have? I have another tourniquet. That first tourniquet is for me for quick access with those rubber bands. Then I have a second one if needed for redundancy as well, or a buddy if I have a buddy that I'm with. Unzip this. This has got MOLLE and different ways to mount it and stuff. I just liked having it easily accessible. So in no certain order, I've got some C-locks here, which is wound closure, to use the layman's term, cauterize and seal a wound. So that's good to have. You just literally sprinkle that on the wound. We have a 6-inch Israeli dressing, which is both dressing and a pressure dressing in one that you can wrap and close a wound with. So that is pre-packaged and to stay sterile and keep from getting wet and damaged. Then I have just good old-fashioned medical tape here, compressed gauze. This is for packing wounds, stopping the bleeding, and this stuff expands once you open it up, and you've got quite a bit of gauze there. This is a 14-gauge needle in this container for doing needle decompressions. You have a chest wound, you've been shot through the chest, blown through a lung, you get a pneumothorax going on, you can release the pressure or tension by inserting this 14-gauge needle between the second and third rib to release the pressure. This is a nasal pharyngeal, medium size with Surgilube. If you have facial trauma, you have airway issues, the intent with this, insert it into one nostril, it goes back through the throat and it will keep your airway open. Also have some rubber gloves for treatment and sterility. Then I've got occlusive dressing here. This is the hyphen for your sucking chest wound. Once you stop bleeding, get off the X or get out of the hot spot, if you will. If you've been shot through, you will put this over the entry and exit wound to stop from sucking air into your chest cavity, creating that pneumothorax. So that's an occlusive dressing. They're basically stickers, and you can put them on the wound front and back, and that helps to close it. So that's it for my IFAK or my blowout kit. So moving up the bag, we have what I call the admin pouch. It's got a lot of different organizers in the bag itself and slots that's perfect for these kinds of items. In no certain order, In the cargo tape category, I have black friction tape, a full roll of that, or a black electrical tape. Great for wound closure, gear repairs, silencing equipment, subduing equipment. Then I've got that Mylar space blanket for a ground cloth, keeping your body heat up, wrapping yourself in it. You can also signal with that. I have a full-size Bic lighter in an Exotac sleeve, which protects it. This also floats in the event you were to drop your lighter, and a good old-fashioned Bic lighter. These Exotac sleeves are pretty sexy, but they're pretty expensive for what you get. This could save your life though. This lighter is very valuable, as we all know. For recording, golf pencil for Tinder and or writing. This is the Through Night Archer flashlight. This is made out of aircraft aluminum. It's really quality with a lanyard or dummy cord. Got a clip on here for attaching to your equipment. This has got the power on button in the back, and then you've got a control button in the front. So it's got all your brightness settings. This is a 500 lumen flashlight. I actually have lithium batteries in here, so this thing gets very bright. And that's in addition to that headlamp we discussed earlier. So I do have illumination or candling redundancy. I've got a full-size Sharpie here, all right, for obvious reasons, recording, some mechanical pencils. Then I've got a mini Sharpie as well. Got some redundancy there. Those are good for subduing equipment and or recording and taking notes or leaving a note behind. Another golf pencil, so I actually have two of those. Then I've got, I call it stormproof paper. It's really called Write in the Rain paper. I've got a spring clip on that could be used to attach or secure items. I've got paper clips, bobby pins that can be fashioned into rudimentary tools, secure equipment with those as well. Handcuff key, you can make a lock pick out of those. And then I've got a full deal of the mini small Write in the Rain paper. Those golf pencils work great. Any pencil, even the mechanical one, this is wet, you can write on it. You cannot, once this paper is damp or wet, use a ink pen very easily, or one of these, they'll smear. But while it's dry, you can. So that's great. Also use that paper for Tinder. I'm just gonna go ahead and show these items down here where you can see them better, pulling them out of the pack. You know where the pouch is that I'm pulling them from. This is the Leatherman Free PS4. The reason that I chose this and procured this particular Leatherman is one of the things it's awesome is I'm right-handed. If I was to lose my right hand, you know, gunshot wound, amputation, whatever, this Leatherman will operate with one hand. So you can literally flip that open and work it with one hand. Most you cannot do that with. It's got your wire cutters, your pliers, spring-loaded. It's got a knife blade, a saw, wood and metal file, and much more. I highly recommend you dummy core that to your person. You do not want to lose that tool. A Lansky knife sharpener. I'm out for an extended period of time. I've really dulled my knife doing various stuff. Maybe I'm making a shelter and I'm really using my knife. This is going to allow you to, in a compact setup, sharpen your knife. Also, here I have a cutter for cordage or whatever, and that's made out of aircraft aluminum as well. It's super lightweight. Pretty much all my kits, I always try to throw some 12-hour green chem lights in there, and these are just obviously great to have for the candling category, illumination. I do write the expiration dates on the ends that stick up in my bag in case I need to rotate stock. This also has a cord on it, so I could hang this one, and I just have that taped up to secure the cord, and that's also additional tape for use and or Tinder. I've got a 1/2 inch diameter heavy duty ferrocerium rod here. I am gonna get a ton of use or strikes out of this with a striker tool, and it's got a little wrench on here and a ruler with some cordage. This is a very nice ferrocerium rod. So these typically come with a coating on them. You know, once you get that protective coating off, you can really get the spark out of that. Obviously, I can light tinder, char cloth, whatever. That is a heavy duty. Again, this is an elite bag, so I put elite, higher end, more costly items. In addition, I have a full lockpick set in here, which comes in extremely handy. This is a skill that you gotta practice. I'm okay, and again, this is perishable. It's got different picks and different rakes, plus tensioners, all in one little compact kit. I have room for it, and this is an elite E&E bug out bag, so I put it in there. This is an insect repellent pad. Instead of having insect repellent in your bag that can leak in a container or a sprayer, this is compact and it has a good shelf life and stays moist. Good old-fashioned lip balm. Sometimes we forget about that with SPF. Desert environment, a lot of hot weather. I've had some sunburnt lips in my life, and that's very painful. Plus, it aids in dehydration, which you don't want. So a SPF lip balm. Then here, I have some what's called bump keys. These bump keys allow you to go in and out with a rubber stopper and open a lot of locks. This bag also comes with a detachable flap. You could put some type of credentials or whatever, pin them in here, zip this down and show them. Or maybe this is something you can attach something to and have easy removable access. Now we're gonna get into the guts of the bag. We got two Fastex buckles here. Boom, boom, pop those babies open. And then we're gonna open the main compartment now. And you can see we've got a lot of good items in here. In no certain order, we're gonna start going through this. This is quick and easy. It was already in my hand. Army poncho liner, which we're going to use to sleep in. You need to have something to sleep in, sleep under, sleep on. This is our blanket, if you will. We used to call it a whoopee in our military days. These things are highly valuable, very warm. They even get damp, they're fairly warm. So you don't want it to get wet, it acts like a sponge. But I also have a total of 6 camouflage Army style bungees that are very heavy duty for making a shelter. So in this, then I put it in a Ziploc bag just in case. It's an additional Ziploc for use, waterproofing, etc. That's what it's doing for this, and some form of a container. What I have to sleep in, or correction, sleep on, is the Snug Pack SF Bivy. This is Gore-Tex. So I don't have a sleep comfort pad in this kit because, again, I want it to look non-tactical and I want it to be fairly compact. This isn't, you're not gonna be super hyper comfortable sleeping straight on the ground. However, you can get into this bivy and it will wick the moisture off of you even when it's wet outside. And it's very packable. This is a kind of an expensive item, but this is what I'm going to get inside of with this around me, my poncho liner. So what do I, since we're on that, what do I sleep under? A poncho. This is a Army poncho. This is, I can make a shelter, it's waterproof, I can wrap up in this if need be, I can wear it, but this is, I'm very good at creating what we call a poncho hooch very quickly with these bungee cords. So that is my shelter setup and sleep setup. Something else I wanted to show you is a good old-fashioned military grade Boonie Cap. This really does a couple things mainly. One, it keeps the sun off your face, your neck, and your head. Sunburns can be a major issue. It keeps the bugs out of your eyes in some cases as well, helps to, but it also breaks up the outline of the human head. In nature, there's very few things that are completely round, like a human head. So back in my reconnaissance days or my operator days, the head's easy to pick up in the woods. Wearing a Boonie Cap though, it really breaks up the outline of your head, and so it keeps you from being spotted as easily. I know I'm a real looker with this on, but it really accomplishes the camouflage and the sun protection category. I also have an N95 mask for whatever reason. Smoke, dust, whatever, pollen, other contaminants, good to have in your bag. This is a great idea to do for all your kits or your bags. A lot of people, I don't know, have seen this. I got a lot going on here. One, I've got 2 rubber gloves that are waterproofing the contents of this that I can use as a form of container. I can put water in these, I can wear them. Then I've got a set of boot socks that I have laid out. We're gonna do this in reverse order. I have my 2 boot socks that are rolled, as you see here, inside a wicking t-shirt. This happens to be an Army style wicking t-shirt with a pair of wicking underwear. All sealed up in a tight little container in these 2 rubber gloves. So I've got backup socks, backup underwear, and a backup t-shirt. Because I don't know what I'm wearing necessarily when I grab this bag and I have to bug out, I have backups. So we don't have a lot of room for parkas and winter clothes and stuff like that, but I do have room for this. So the next item out of the main compartment is the SOS emergency food ration. Because this is an elite Escape and Evade 72-hour bug out bag. I wanted to have a food item or items that allow me to eat on the move without stopping in boiling water if needed. If I have to for water consumption, I'll do that. There's enough kilocalories in this entire pack for one person, for a guy, for one day. These taste okay. They're not the best thing out there, but they don't taste terrible. These have a 5-year shelf life, and then you need to replace them. But they are broken down into some pressed bars, and this will get the job done when the chips are down and you're moving. I have 100 yards of Titan cord. This is like a 550 cord, paracord. If you've seen some of my other videos, I talk about this in the 10 C's of Survival Preparedness. A 770 pound tensile strength. And in addition to the inner guts, we call them, of the smaller nylon strands, they've added a piece of monofilament fishing line, a piece of hemp wick or hemp line for fire starting or tinder, and also a piece of wire for traps and snares or trip wires. So this has all of those along with the 770 pound tensile strength. So I got 100 yards of that. And then I have what I do in most of my larger kits. I have an inner box for my smaller items. This is also watertight, waterproof, and it floats because it's got a rubber gasket in it. This is the Plano 3400 box. I love these little boxes for organizing my smaller items. I've got a lot of good things. So I've got several pieces of broken up fat wood, which can be tinder in themselves or even fuel for a smaller fire. These things take right off if you're familiar with fat wood. Then I've got, because I have room for it, I've got a sewing kit where I have, this is the yarn, is all woven in here in typical military subdued colors, black, OD green, some lighter blue, with some larger needles. So I've got 2 larger needles for gear repairs, sutures, and so on, but for stitching my clothing. This is great to have, and that's bulkier than I put in like my mini tins because I have the room. Then I have a super match that I create, taking 4 Yuko Titan matches, which are bigger than their stormproof matches, wrapping those with makeup pads, and then dipping this in paraffin wax. I put painter's tape across the top that allows you to do a quick release tear off to strike those. This thing will go like a torch. So that is a great fire starter. You know, you could actually use this for light. I mean, this thing is puts off a great flame and a heat signature. Then I've got military issue steel tripwire. I have 60 feet of that. I can use that for traps and snares or tripwires themselves for early warning devices. Some various rubber bands for securing equipment. That's a form of tinder as well. I've got 3 wet fire self-packaged tinder. Those are great for inclement weather, for fire starting. 55 yards of wax dental floss for sutures, gear repairs, other than just normal thread. This is also flammable, being that it's wrapped in wax for tinder. 5 quick fire tinder tabs, which these can be unraveled and unfurled, and you can catch spark in these really well with that ferrocerium rod and so on. So this is very packable, small, compact. We all remember having the trick plate on us, the trick birthday candles that don't blow out. I've got several of those with a Ranger band around them. Obviously in the combustion category as well for fire starting. They stay lit. The wax keeps them going. You see I've got some backup batteries here that are individually wrapped with friction tape or black electrical tape. If you're gonna put extra batteries in, do lithium. They're way better longevity, shelf life, and they're stronger in your device. So I've got backup batteries for the things that I have. For my Through Night Archer flashlight, it takes AA. I have 2 of those backups. And then I have 3 for my headlamp. It takes 3 AAA. So backup items, I got some extra buttons. You blow out a button in your pants, whatever, or your shirt. You've also got 2-inch subdued safety pins in there. Then I have a mini floatable signal mirror, which this is a micro signal mirror. You can look at yourself for dental examination, facial wounds, plus signal aircraft, etc. Compact foldable nail clipper with file. Then I've got a mini Bic. I know I already have full-size Bic in my admin pouch in that Exotac sleeve, but I have another Bic for redundancy. Plus I've wrapped that with beeswax wick for tinder and a fire starter and to hold a flame in itself. If you haven't seen my how to make your BIC better for survival, watch that video. I talk about how to do this, removing the child safety clip, which holds moisture if this was to get wet. So watch that video, short and sweet, to the point. Then I've got good old-fashioned super glue, sealing wounds, gear repair. This is also flammable. This is the applicator you can screw on. I've got 4 nails, all basically 2.5 inches. Great for pounding into a tree to leave a note, secure your equipment. Maybe you're going to use this as an attachment for your tripwire. These come in handy. You're only limited by your imagination. So I've got 8 mini baby chem lights. I can't remember if these are 4 or 6. They're in that ballpark, but these don't last as long as the full size. These are great for marking, remembering a position and so on. And then I've got the Fresnel lens, which is it got a 4 power magnification for using the solar rays to light char cloth, etc. Plus you can read by this. This is a great deal. I highly recommend you leave that in its case so it doesn't get scratched up. If you're like me and I do break my reading glasses that are in this bag, I could always use this for reading fine print. I've got some survival cards here, and I've got a few of them. I want to explain the difference. This tiny survival card's about $20, pretty spendy, but it's a stainless steel card with magnets that allow you to pull the card on and off, or individual tools. So this is a 17-in-1. It's got a knife in here that is sharp on that edge. You've got an arrowhead or spear point. You got various awls, some fish hooks, single hook fish hooks, double hooks. You've got some other little rudimentary spears you can lash into a stick. You got a backup button, 2 different saws, and then tweezers. So that's a great mini survival card that fits in this box no problem. This one here is by Wild Peak. This has got some stuff this doesn't, because it doesn't have the knife. This has got some flashers or snare locks for doing traps and snares, some various fish hooks, another little saw edge here and here. Plus it's got a spear point here, another one, and a gig point here you could lash for gigging frogs and small critters, and various fish hooks and awls. So this has actually got 22 tools in this one card, where the other one was 17. So I put both of these in here. Great to have, very lightweight, very compact, both made out of stainless steel. So that concludes this mini kit within my bag. The next item in the main compartment here, you see here, I'm gonna slide this over. I have an inner compartment that's padded in there. That's where some of these items are I'm pulling out. So I have, for a comfort item and under rations, nothing better than a hot cup of coffee when you're out under duress. If I have time to hold up and start a fire to boil some water. The reason I'm not necessarily a supporter of Starbucks or not, I just like this product because it's got some sweetness to it, some flavoring or creamer in the coffee, all dry in one container. You literally just dump that in your cup. So that's why these do expire fairly quickly, so I have to rotate stock from time to time. But I've got 5 of those in here. These are cafe mochas. You may choose to put this in your kit because this is an elite kit, and I'm going to be potentially in and around urban areas and stuff, and I may need to escape or bust through some areas. I got some basic bolt cutters here. This will snip all your basic smaller locks, padlocks, combination locks. And it's fairly small and fits in my bag fairly well. There's a little weight to it, but again, my bag's only 27 pounds. I weigh about 223 pounds. This bag is light to me. I know that I could have more water on me and so on and so forth, and my clothing, but this is just a great item I wanted to throw in my bag that I think is important. I've got a 2-liter platypus. You can boil in this bag. It's that sturdy. This is for if I do have time to stop and I'm gonna filter with that Sawyer Mini and I'm gonna accumulate a good volume of water, I'm gonna fill that 2-liter bag. Now, if I have to move and I have to grab this and go, I can, but I like a bigger tankard other than my nested drink cup, that 32 ounce. And then I've got the Maracniv, and most people call it Mora. This is a Swedish made knife because they're not maybe pronouncing it correctly, but it's the Maracniv. This is a carbon steel 5-inch blade, and this is a full tang knife. Not a huge knife, but a very strong knife, and that full tang runs throughout the blade, so I can literally pound this through a piece of wood and it's not going to snap off at the handle. So it does come with a sheath. I did include that. You could put that on the outside of your bag like my wife's bug out bag that she did for pros, Joes, and Janes. Hers is mounted on the outside for convenience and accessibility. Mine's not. I typically have a knife on my person too. These are 7-inch, very lightweight aluminum tent stakes. And the reason that I have 7 of these is for if in the event I need to fashion that cover over the top of me and I don't have available foliage, or I have some on one side and on another, I can always use tent stakes. I can use these to secure equipment as well. I could use these as, for tripwires and traps and snares. Very lightweight, very packable. I got a good old Ranger band on here, which is also tender to secure those. A Yuko spork, this is 3-in-1. It's got a serration, which you can't see, because I did wrap the fork end with Gorilla Tape to protect the tines of the fork in my bag. It's got a serrated end for cutting, not real sharp, but it will cut. The fork and then the spoon end. I took full advantage of this and wrapped about 30 yards of Gorilla Tape on that itself, so I can pull that off as needed. Even though I have my SOS survival rations, if I do need to cook some food and eat it, this is gonna come in handy. Then I've got the Silky Pocket Boy 130 with medium-sized teeth, unfolded. This is 6.5 inches. Because my bag is compact, gray man, and lightweight, there are bigger saws. My wife has the bigger Silky Gun Boy, but this is very packable, very lightweight, and just unfolds. Look at that. It's going to go through limbs and wood, no problem, and very compact. Time and motion studies have proven, and you use less calories to saw through something of a certain diameter than to chop through it. But hatchets have their application. This does seal it, very compact, so that's not catching on your bag and tearing your nylon. So now we're gonna go into the main compartment zipper mesh pockets. You see this bag just has tons of great pockets. It's very usable. I mean, look at all the features this thing has, and it looks like a book bag for, all intents and purposes. So this top zipper pouch, we're gonna go into first. Huge item here. I have 3 12-hour Yuko beeswax candles. They make a lot of candles that are this size and shape, but beeswax are more expensive. They burn longer and slower. If you are in your shelter and you are in a contained, closed space, this thing's not going to kill you with carbon monoxide, but it can warm the temperature of that closed space up to 20 degrees. Plus it provides illumination, and it's good for morale, just seeing some flame. I've got a lot of redundancy in my bag, especially with fire starting. You can't have enough. You see I have a couple Bics, mini and large, but I've also got Yuko, and other than that super match I made, I also have the Yuko storm matches, or stormproof. These are not the Titans I used in the other one. The Titans are longer, a lot more burning material. They come with their own little tinder in here, and they're extra strikers. The one thing I don't like about them, you gotta use their strikers. So they have replacements though, which is nice. And that's a waterproof floatable container, orange, so you don't lose it. I've got mechanics gloves. Throw these gloves on, protect your hands. They're your lifeblood, just like your feet when you're out moving. So we got some mechanics gloves, protect the knuckles there with the rubber. Make sure you get the right size for your hands. My main cooking opportunity other than fire is to use that nested cooking set over some Esbit fuel tabs. These will burn up to 12 minutes. They don't leave liquid behind. They'll get up to 1400 degrees. They're great at high altitude, and they're just very compact. If you haven't seen our cook set, our bug out bag cook set battle between my wife and I did use a MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe stove, which I do throw in this bag because I have room, but it's just extra. This is the standard setup that I'm running right now, which is very compact, lightweight. These will do the job. Here's the lid to my cook pot that's in the outside of my bag, nested with my drink bottle. So I keep that in here for when and if I need it. It's got pre-drilled holes here for straining. It's got another vent hole. And then for that pot holder, it's cut out here if you do want to use a pot holder to hang this pot over a fire. And here we have a chamois scarf. Many of you have seen military guys wearing these. This is a cotton item under the cotton category that could be a pre-filter for pre-filtering water, brackish water. Plus, I can dampen this and do evaporative cooling around my head and neck, and it's sun protection. Got a Ranger band on that. And then lastly, other than the Titan cord, I've got some 550 cord, probably 150 yards of paracord, again for lashing, doing a shelter. I can pull the inner strands out here, the guts, you can see that, and use those for things. So it's just limitless we can do with that. Secure equipment, dummy cords, etc. So very detailed video. There's a lot of stuff in here, I understand that. Hopefully I gave you some good food for thought, some good ideas. And now you can see how this bag is different, and I hope you watched my wife's bug out bag video for Pros, Joes, and Janes. You can see the differences here. All right, everyone, thanks for joining us for my Elite 72-hour Gray Man bug out bag video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, just list them below. We'll get back to you.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.